Welcome back, YouTube. My name is Eric, and I've been living out of a tent here in Anchorage, Alaska for the past month, and I thought it would be important to give an update video. I've been extremely busy working all the time and running in circles, just trying to keep everything going. But I got a little free time today, so we found a nice quiet spot by this gentle stream here. And we're going to take the time to answer some of your questions and just give a quick life update on how things are going. Really quick before we get into the question part of this video, I'd like to update you personally on my life. I have over 5,000 new subscribers in the past 28 days. I'm really proud of that accomplishment and happy that you are all here. Hello, hello, hello. Like I said, this past month has been extremely busy, and honestly, I haven't gotten to do much in Anchorage. I've been running a tight little circle between my tent, my storage unit, my job, and Planet Fitness. Every day is a bit like Groundhog Day, and a lot of the same activities going on, so not much to film there. I did, however, get a new bike. If you remember in the last video, I had a Huffy bike, and it was squeak, squeak, squeak when I would pedal it, and just was completely ridiculous for an adult to be riding such a bike. So I found this bike here at a used bicycle shop in town. It was a good deal. I got it for 60 bucks. I just gave them my Huffy, man. You can have that hunk of junk, and I'll take this bike, and I'll give you 60 bucks, and they were okay with that trade. So we got this thing. This is a touring bike. It's much better equipped to handle the stresses of riding around the city so much, man. We've been making it to and fro in lightning speed, and it was a great purchase. An update on my storage unit is that I decided to not upgrade and get the bigger one. I'm still in that little cubby storage unit, and it's working just fine for the amount of stuff that I own, and I didn't need to upgrade. I can't get my bike in there, but if that's the biggest worry, then we can manage that worry for now. I'll save the money. Thirdly is, saving money. When I got here to Alaska, you remember from that video, I was living in the homeless shelter at that time, and I got kicked out. I think I was down to like $42 to my name, man, in a pretty desperate situation. Since then, we've been able to find a job, work our butts off, make some YouTube videos, and save up some money. So I'm not rich yet, obviously, but I'm not starving either, and so things are going much better on the financial front than when I first got here to Alaska. And it's not even summer yet. We're still 3 weeks away from summer, so the weather is going to continuously and progressively get better and better here. It's been pretty good so far, to be honest. Just as good as can be expected to move to Alaska with nothing and making it happen. But anyway, let's get into some questions. I see every question that comes through on YouTube. Every time you guys leave a comment on one of my videos, I get a notification on my phone, and I see everyone, even though I can't respond. I'm just too busy to respond to all the comments, but I'm thankful for them, and I see you guys in there leaving nice comments and mean comments and asking questions, and I haven't had a chance to get back to them. So that's what we're doing here today. We're gonna get back to some of the most popular questions, and I'll answer them for you guys. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're not. All right, the first question I've been hearing a lot over and over and over, and the question is, why don't you just sleep in your storage unit, dude? That's a hard no. I would have to be in a survival, life or death situation to even consider sleeping in my storage unit. And the reason why it's a hard no for me is because my awareness that that's somebody's livelihood, man. Somebody owns that business. They feed their family with that business. They pay for their home. You know, that they employ people, and that also feeds their families. And the last thing I want to do is interfere with somebody trying to run a business and do an honest day's work over there at their employer, you know. Have hobos in and out and looking all shady in the area and staying there. It would just draw a bunch of negative attention, man. So, you know, there's one thing about living on the road that I learned is that people are pretty compassionate, but you start stepping on their ability to make a living and they're going to lose that compassion real quick. So if if you ever find yourself in a homeless situation, don't consider staying in the storage unit. It's not worth it. It's going to be a whole bunch of headaches. You might get arrested. You might get kicked out. You might lose your money. And you might just, you know, hurt somebody's job, man. It's somebody's job that you're messing with when you're doing those kinds of things that you're not supposed to be doing. So I don't want to be part of that. And I won't be sleeping in my storage unit ever. Question number 2. How bad are the mosquitoes? They haven't gotten horrible yet. To be honest, I have backpacking experience, and I've backpacked through Wyoming and Idaho, and I've been in situations during the summer where it's just a giant cloud of billions and billions and swarms of mosquitoes. So many mosquitoes that it looks like a black cloud in the sky that's moving around. And so I've got experience with horrible mosquito situations. Here in Anchorage, I don't think it's going to get that bad this year. It's kind of an urban setting. There's standing water everywhere, and of course there's going to be mosquitoes, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as when I was in Wyoming that one year, and there was just so many of them. They just started waking up for this year, and I do notice that they're much bigger than the mosquitoes from the lower 48, man. These things are hardy, and they'll land on my jeans and attempt to bite through jeans, or land on my sweatshirt and attempt to bite me through the sweatshirt. But it's still pretty cool here in Alaska. I think it's usually about a high of 55 in a day, and the mosquitoes are a bit lethargic. So they're big, they're dopey, and they're slow, and they haven't been much of a problem for me, man. I'm gonna manage just fine with the mosquitoes. Pressing question number 3. What are my plans for the winter? That is a great question, and I wish I had a better answer, but the truth is that I don't know. The winter is so far away to me, seasons away, that I haven't even put any thought into it. Like I said, it's not even summer here in Alaska yet. It's not even June 1. I think it's the end of May. We've got several weeks until summer starts. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of my summer. I'm not even going to worry about the winter. It kind of reminds me of a Bible verse when Jesus was talking to Matthew, and he was like, yo, look at the birds, man. Matthew was all worried. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And Jesus is like, calm down, Matthew. Calm down. Take a look at the birds. They're not reaping and sowing. They're not worrying. And so, yeah, the winter's going to come, and I'm going to trust that I am going to have the resources to survive it when that time comes. But of course, the options are endless. I got a list here, and we can go over some of the options that I might be doing for this winter. Number 1, I could live in a vehicle, man. I could live in a car. I could get a van, a little small SUV. I don't know how much money I need or how much I'm going to be able to save throughout the summer. But by the end of the summer and before winter, man, I could possibly buy a vehicle. Maybe even put a small little wood stove in there or something, take out some seats, do some construction. I don't know. But we could live in a vehicle this winter and survive like that. It wouldn't be awesome, but it would be manageable. We can find an apartment. Hey, you never know, man, how much money. Maybe we'll get a roommate from somebody we work with. Maybe we'll find a room share on Craigslist or something, or maybe we'll just get our own apartment, you know, with a really good job. You don't know. You know, winter's a far way away, and an apartment is a real possibility. It's going on the list, man. Maybe I'll survive the winter by living in an apartment. I could go back to the homeless shelters. You know, they close down for the summer and really limit their capacity, but during the winter, it's dangerous here in Alaska, man. If you're on the streets and you're not an alcoholic or a drug addict, you can get into a homeless shelter in the winter here. They'll find a spot for you, man. Keep you from freezing to death, because people definitely don't survive homeless in the winter here. They pass away every year, and I don't want to be one of those people. So, yeah, a homeless shelter is an option. I could live in a vehicle. I could get an apartment. I could live in a homeless shelter. I could build an igloo. Number 4, I could build an igloo. People have survived in igloos here in Alaska for 10,000 years. I'm a person. I could also survive in an igloo. I doubt that one will happen, to be honest, but it's a possibility. I could build a trapper shack, man. People are right now living in the city of Anchorage in little lean-to, shanty town, trapper shack type things. And I avoid putting up a permanent structure because I'm aware that I'm on public land and I don't want to hurt or destroy other people's access to the public land, you know, during the day. So that's why I take my tent down every day and take it with me, and then I'll bring it back at night. I don't want to leave a permanent structure behind on public land, but other people are. It's all over the place, man. There's little encampments and stuff. So yeah, that is definitely a possibility. If it becomes winter and it's a life or death situation and I need to build some kind of lean-to with a campfire to survive, that'll definitely happen. Let's see. I could work a job that supplies housing. That's a possibility. It's definitely a real thing here in Alaska. I haven't really looked into it too much because I'm enjoying being here in Anchorage, but yeah, there's a lot of jobs in Alaska that will supply housing in remote locations. So that is a possibility. Maybe I'll get sick. I'll be living in hospice with an illness this winter. That's a possibility. I could go back south. There's some hindrances to that. You know, I don't have a real ID and I'd have to get one of those to fly on an airplane again. But if I save up some money and I don't feel like being here and it starts getting cold, man, ain't nothing holding me here. I can jump on a plane and fly to Phoenix, you know, in a few hours, be at the airport and out of here. But yeah, so there's plenty of options. Winter is not here yet, so I'm not worried about it, but I can tell that people are thinking ahead and they're worried about me, and I appreciate your concern. We'll survive it together, and I'm gonna document it, so it should be fun. Hopefully we don't get any frostbite. There's been another repeat question that I've been getting over and over in my comment section that I'm gonna take a moment to explain right now. It is, why did I give away my car? Technically, I didn't give away my car. I sold my car to a scrap dealer for $220. But it experienced mechanical failure and I kind of knew it was coming. It was an old car, it had lots of mileage, made it over several mountain passes. And I'm not a mechanic, so I couldn't diagnose this, but it kept stalling out and leaving me sit in the middle of an intersection. When it was cold, I'd start it up. If I would try to drive it, it would drive. But as soon as the temperature would rise, it would shut itself off. And it usually happened while I was idling in the middle of an intersection. And a couple times I had to push it to the side. So it just wasn't driving anymore. And then I noticed too that the exhaust pipe was putting out all of this white smoke or steam or whatever. And I looked online and it's a great indication of a cracked head, which means that the oil is mixed. There's oil and water mixture happening in the engine, and there's cracks in there in the fluids. And anyway, it's not good for your engine, and that can be devastating failure. And it was putting white smoke. So it was just kept stalling out. It would run for like 2 minutes, stall out, wouldn't start, stall, overheat. It was having all kinds of mechanical failures there at the end. And it was just to the point where I couldn't afford to replace all these things and fix all these problems just to have a car that, you know, had 220,000 miles on it anyway. So we had to make the tough decision to just let it go. I didn't give away my car. I sold it to the scrapyard because it was crap. And finally, the last question that I'm going to answer on this quick video today is, why the heck Alaska, Eric? Why would you forever in your mind think it was okay to move to Alaska and be homeless, the most extreme, unhospitable place in the USA? I guess for fun is my answer. As crazy as that sounds, fun and adventure maybe. I don't prioritize comfort in my life, and Alaska offers a lot of the things that I like to do. And then also, I think I might like to settle down here someday if I can save up enough money and buy some small acreage. But yeah, it's mostly for the recreation. You know, Alaska is a huge state full of insane recreation. There's mountains, there's oceans, there's rivers to float down, fish to catch, things to hunt, things to trap. It's just a really fun and adventurous spot. And I'm only 45 years old, so I could, you know, spend the next 20 years of my life learning some real fun and cool survival skills. I think it would be fun to harvest a moose before I pass. It would be fun to float the Yukon River on a raft, and it would be fun to survive a winter in a trapper shack in the boreal forest with all the supplies you would need, and have a raging fire going, and, you know, feet of snow and ice and stuff happening outside. That would be very extreme and I think a fun experience. So yeah, I came to Alaska for fun. It might not be fun for everybody, but I am having the time of my life and I've never been happier. In fact, I'd like to share with you a little personal insight. I actually cried this week, and it wasn't tears of pain, it was actually tears of joy. I was riding my bike to work and the sun was coming up, man, and it was feeling warm on my face and it was hitting the mountains and the snow was glistening, and I just thought, wow, how grateful how grateful I am to be here in Alaska. It was like a pinch me moment. I couldn't believe. The flowers are starting to bloom here. Everything smells fresh. Oh, there's a moose. Oh my goodness. There's a moose behind the camera. I don't know if I'll be able to get a shot. Hold on, let me turn the camera around. All right, so it's a moose. It's a mama moose with a baby moose. She's big. So we'll see if we can get a shot of her, but I'm not gonna try to get too close. Wow, I'm so lucky to be here right now. Let's give him space. Wow. I'm so lucky. See what I'm talking about, crying tears of joy? I turned the camera around. She's coming my way. She's right up there. We gotta gather things and get out of here. She's not paying me much mind, but I don't want to give her the chance to. Let's get the heck out of here, man. Uh-oh, she notices me. We continued up the trail for another mile to give mama and baby the space she deserves. Man, what a majestic animal. The shoulders on them moose stand so tall. I'm so little, I feel shrunken when I'm next to them. I'm like, oh my goodness, wow. And anyway, that was fantastic, but we gotta get an ending to this video and wrap this one up with a big thank you to all my supporters. Like I said, we got over 5,000 new channel subscribers in the past month and a bunch of continual support. PayPal, Venmo, super thanks, comments, likes. Man, you guys are propelling me forward. Over 22,000 subscribers my channel has now. What if they give me that play button and I'm still homeless, yo, and I gotta take my YouTube play button to the homeless shelter with me this winter? I've definitely considered that. Oh God, I hope I start making money before I'm homeless and I got a YouTube play button. Man, that would be embarrassing. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. This was just a quick Q&A video. I wanted to respond to some of the repeat questions. If you have more questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Maybe I can make another Q&A video in the future. Thank you guys for following along. Until the next video, smile your way through the day.